I would always go with the coach instead of the star player, because I think they're the ones that drive that culture and set the standards which breed and create success.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Continuous Call Team Daily podcast. Great to have your company. I'm Adam Hawse, and today I'm joined by league great and Continuous Call Team member Josh Morris. Hey J-Moz.
Afternoon, Horsey. Good to see you got the memo about the shirt.
Yes, there was a wardrobe malfunction last week. J-Moz warned me not to put shirts in the dryer. I didn't listen. Shirt got too tight. Driving home, button flew off. Nearly had an accident, but we've gotten over that. I've learned my lesson. Thank you, J-Moz. I'll come to you next time. Can we get back to footy? Big game.
Yes.
It is the Storm v the Panthers to kick off round 25. Ivan Cleary, game number 500 for the not just for the Penrith Panthers, for his career in the NRL. It's a fantastic achievement. J-Moz, you've never been coached by Ivan, have you?
No, I haven't been coached by Ivan. When we were up in the bubble, when I was playing for the Roosters, we were in the same venue as what the Panthers were. So I did speak to Ivan on a number of occasions, and he was a very, very laid-back customer to talk to. Like his temperament, he had a really cool, calm temperament, and I actually enjoyed my conversations with him, and I can see why he gets on with all of his players and has been so successful with those boys as well.
I've never seen him lose it at all. Never, to the point where you say he's a bit of a bore, Ivan, but I've never seen him blow up or spray anyone.
Well, that's probably a good trait of a coach, isn't it? Because you keep cool, calm and collected, but when you actually do lose your top, then people start to recognise and notice that, hey, he doesn't do it this often, so it must be bad enough for us to warrant it. So he probably does have a good spray in him, but most coaches do.
Yeah, so interesting point here from Joey Johns, the eighth immortal, in his column in the Sydney Morning Herald. He asked, if you could choose one, who would you choose, Ivan Cleary or Nathan Cleary? So for example, let's say we're starting up the 20th team.
Now.
What's that?
It's a hypothetical now because he's finishing up next year. But
yeah.
For me, I would always pick the coach. I would always pick the coach because the coach is the one who sets the culture. And you've only got to look at what Penrith have done now. He's sustained a winning culture there, and it's been off the back of what he's been able to develop. And yes, Nathan's a star player, but if you have a star player that doesn't prescribe to the coach's culture, well, then you butt heads, and your biggest player can be, a potential enemy and derail the side and that type of culture that you're trying to build. So I would always go with the coach instead of the star player, because I think they're the ones that drive that culture and set the standards which breed and create success.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear you say that. I thought most people would say Nathan Cleary, he's the star, he's out there scoring the tries, kicking the goals, but you're saying the bloke up there in the coach's box. And you're right too, because the guy he's up against tonight, Craig Bellamy, I always said at Melbourne, geez, when Cameron Smith retires, when Billy Slater retires, when Cooper Cronk retires, they're going to go off a cliff. But Craig Bellamy's been there the whole time and they've never gone off a cliff. This year, yes, they have dropped a little, but Bellamy's been the one constant. So I think you're right. The coach, he drives everything.
Yeah, and you only have to look at the Dragons back in 2010. They just couldn't get the job done. They hire Wayne Bennett. Wayne Bennett gets the job done. So,
yep.
I think the coach is certainly more important than the star player in terms of driving the culture and the standards of the club. And
I think the Warriors have recognised that because they've re-signed Andrew Webster, who's come from the Penrith system, of course. He's signed on until, the end of 2032. That's a long-term deal, and that is a huge vote of confidence in Andrew Webster by the Warriors. What have you seen from Andrew Webster, J-Moz, that would give the Warriors this confidence that he's our man to win our first premiership?
Oh, firstly, I think it's well deserved. He was Dally M Coach of the Year last year, I'm pretty sure, from memory, and they look like they're a connected bunch. They look like he's been able to promote a number of juniors coming through that system who are now seasoned first graders. He's had some astute signings in Fisher Harris and Kurt Capel as well. Obviously, Barnett's moving on, but I think they've got a succession plan there with their local juniors coming through. And they're not the Warriors of old where you could, probably count on them to beat themselves with a poor pass or not just respecting the football enough. But under Andrew Webster, they're leading the league in completion rate. And it is scary when you think about the types of players they've got, their ability to offload as well. Yes, they still do play that offloading style of football, but it's been reined in a little bit. They're smarter offloads, and then they're able to shift to edges. And you only have to look at how he's managed to deal with the halves situation this year. You know, at stages they've had Metcalf. They got rid of Metcalf. They had Tanner Boyd. They had Chanel Harris-Tavita. They've got Tamari Martin. Every single one of them, when they've stepped in, has done an amazing job. So I think it's a great signing by the Warriors, and it is well deserved.
Yeah, there's a lot of Panthers about it at the Warriors, I believe, in terms of, like you mentioned, they've lost 3 quality halfbacks through the course of the season, and someone comes in and they just don't miss a beat. They've got that system going. That's very much Penrith. So congratulations to Andrew Webster. Just while we're talking coaches, I want to ask you about the Sea Eagles and the Tigers. Might they be having some second thoughts about what they've done with their coaches? Benji Marshall's there till the end of 2030. The Tigers are on an 8-game losing streak at the moment. And then all the fuss with Kieran Foran, Fosball, they signed him for 3 years. And, hey, I'm one of the ones who said they should do that. And now they've lost 6 in a row. Do you think there might be some little second thoughts there from the management of those 2 clubs?
Yeah, look, there might be when you consider that we were speaking about Kieran Foran potentially getting the job and then having other candidates like Matt Ballin, who was probably ready to step into a first-grade head coaching role as well. And we spoke about it last night on Sports Today with Benji. I just don't think they've given him the proper support he's needed there in terms of, you know, a coach who's been through all these types of crises and seen it firsthand and knows how to navigate and deal with it, because they've had a lot of distractions this year and they have not been able to manage it at all. And the Tigers have been on the slide for that reason. Manly, I just don't know what's happened to them. They're just a side playing without confidence at the moment. And I would probably say the loss of Luke Brooks can't be understated either. I thought he was in career best football before he got injured with that knee injury, and a lot of the pressure's fallen onto Jamal Fogarty, and at stages he just hasn't been able to cope with that added pressure. And you take away Tommy from that side being in and out, and their forward pack, they've had a number of injuries. So there are, you know, some factors, but you know, I certainly think you've got to put the right people around these young coaches if you want them to succeed.
J-Moss, whatever the reasons are for Manly's fall, they're now turning to a coach with very little experience. That's the problem Manly's got now. I had a look at the gains and losses for this season, and there's his name. You forget Kieran Foran. He finished at the Titans last year. Now he's a head coach. So the problem they got, Manly, is that he hasn't got much coaching experience to draw on. And when you lose 6 in a row, you really do need to know how to fight your way out of it. So it's a bit of a problem for them.
Yeah, and that's it. Both those coaches, they're in the deep end right now. And it's either sink or swim. They've got to learn how to navigate those challenges and deal with them and try and get their teams up when they're down. That's going to be their hardest challenge right now, because there's, 2 or 3 games to go in the season and they're both on big losing streaks. But you got to try and find some wins before the season ends so that you can head into the preseason on a positive note.
Yeah, I do wonder what Anthony Seibold's thinking sitting at home. He got speared after 3 straight losses at the start.
He's probably still getting paid out, so he's probably laughing.
Yeah. Some other news, retirements. Ray Stone from the Dolphins. He's decided to call it quits at the end of the season for the Dolphins, so he could still achieve plenty. They're obviously heading for the finals, Ray Stone, but he's a very underrated forward, isn't he, Ray Stone? There's not much of him, but he gets the job done, and you know when you've been hit by him.
Yeah, he plays well above his weight for sure, and whether or not that's the reason for his retirement, he's still quite young. Maybe his body has been, not up to standard, and he's thought that he couldn't continue with it. But he's been at the Dolphins since day dot, and he's been a vital member of their squad. So no doubt they'll miss him next year, and hopefully they can send him out a winner.
Yeah, he's only 29, Ray Stone. You forgive me for taking it back to Parramatta here, J-Moss, but his standout moment really was round 3, 2022, when he chased a Mitchell Moses drop goal, field goal attempt in Golden Point at Amy Park. It bounced off the post into Ray Stone's hands, and he put a big step on to score the try. And in the process, did his ACL.
Yeah,
Incredible
I remember
moment.
that one. Yeah.
And
he's a tough bugger.
Ashley Klein, I think, was the referee. He wasn't convinced that Stone was onside, but if you looked at the replay, he got himself back onside. Very mature play, so he's a clever player as much as a physical player. What about Tui Kamikamica at the Storm? This is a sad story because he suffered that stroke earlier in the year. Freak diagnosis. Hasn't played since, and he's decided to call it quits.
Yeah, it's a similar one to the Corey Jensen, isn't it? Where you just don't know what the after effects are going to be of something of that nature. And is it worth the risk in the end? Like, he's still very, very young. He's still very, very healthy and in good shape. And obviously it's knocked him around, but I think players these days are more so smarter on making some judgments about their own health and their future, not just playing the game, but afterwards and what that looks like as well. So he's been a wonderful servant for the Melbourne Storm. I didn't like tackling him when he ran at me off kickoffs because he was built like granite. But like I said, hopefully they can also send him out with a nice farewell at Melbourne, possibly tonight or in the next couple of weeks if they have another home game.
You said he felt like granite. Have you seen him? He looks like he's carved from granite. Tui Kamikamica.
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
Hey, people talk about, say for the Broncos, we've had so many injuries. What about, some of the things that have happened to the Storm. Tui's one. Eli Katoa, they haven't had him all year. He's been their best forward. Xavier Coates hasn't played a game all year because of Achilles. And even Will Warbrick. So they've had no luck at all, the Storm. That's why they're going to miss the finals. I wanted to ask you, Josh Papali'i, he's also retiring end of the year. You would have played a lot against Josh Papali'i. Any standout memories of those clashes?
Oh, I played plenty of times against Big Papa, and he started out as a back rower, very, very powerful, similar to what Mariota and Simi Sasangi are like right now. Obviously transitioned into the front row, and he's been there ever since. And, mate, he's one of those blokes that you did not want to go near. You didn't want to run at him because you knew you were going to get flexed. And I went on a couple of tours with Big Papa, and I took him under my wing and showed him the ropes of Europe. And I've got to say, you can put him away, the Big Papa. He doesn't mind a beer.
Mate, just to finish, Jacob Preston at the Bulldogs, there's a bit of a question mark over his future, whether he's going to accept their offer. It's unders, they reckon, $600,000 a season. He's seeking in excess of $800,000 a season. Would you make it happen for Jacob? To me, I think he has to stay at the Bulldogs. He's come through the ranks. He's going to play Origin. We know that.
If they stuff this up, they've got rocks in their heads. Seriously, he's been their best player for the last 2 years. Like, how can you not sign him and for the right deal? Because if he goes, that they will absolutely kick themselves. Jacob Preston, from all reports, wants to stay at the Dogs. He loves it there, but I think he has performed over the last couple of years. He went on the end of trip tour last year for the Kangaroos. Didn't get a game time, but he's got Origin written all over him in the next couple of years as well, and no doubt he'll play for Australia at some stage. So the Dogs, they need to stop stuffing around, or they are a big chance of losing him to someone like the Perth Bears who could snap him up.
Yeah, and there's been a few recruitment and retention bungles, as we know, at the Bulldogs the last 18 months. So if they get this wrong, I think the fans will tear the place down. So
well, I'll be filthy as well.
Yeah, he's a great player, Jacob Preston. You're a great player too, J Moz, so we'll let you go and watch some of your old VHSs and
Wait, DVDs, I'm not that old.
Put on the 2009 put on the 2009 prelim final. That's a good watch. Okay, there he is.
Reliving Paris glory moments because you haven't had any for 40 years.
No,
good on you.
That's enough out of you. Thank you, J Moz, for stepping in today on the Continuous Call Team Daily podcast. Thank you for watching. You can catch us on Instagram and YouTube, and I will see you again tomorrow.